Rick Hansen Foundation, Accessibility Certification. Creating accessible spaces for everyone, everywhere. A woman in a restaurant. Interview, Letitia, building user.
As a blind person, accessibility means freedom. It means independence.
A man in a wheelchair enters a workspace. Interview, Arnold, building user.
Well, it's important to me because of just dignity. You don't want to have to rely on someone. You don't want to have to feel excluded.
A man in a wheelchair at an ice rink. Interview, Marco, building user.
You can have a ramp, but if that ramp leads you to a space that you can't actually use the rest of the features that everyone else can, then it's not truly accessible.
Caption, SAP, RHF Accessibility Certified Gold. Scenes of the accessible work environment at SAP. An open concept floor plan with cubicles and wide walkways. A woman in a wheelchair makes her way to her desk and greets a colleague in the adjacent cubicle. Interview, Brad McCannell, Vice President of Access and Inclusion, Rick Hansen Foundation.
The gap between what people with disabilities really need and code compliance is just enormous. The Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification Program is a rating system that would create a national program, consistent methodology, and consistent language to measure accessibility in the built environment.
Aerial view of Mosaic Stadium, City of Regina, RHF Accessibility Certified Gold. Interview, Stannis Smith, architect, RHFAC Advisory Committee Chair.
The RHFAC is to accessibility what LEED is to sustainability.
Outside and inside views of the office building of Stantec, RHF Accessibility Certified. A wooden art installation reads, Diverse perspectives create extraordinary results. A scene of Stannis at work conferring with a colleague. Scenes of employees of all abilities working at SAP. Interview, Kirsten Sutton, Vice President and Managing Director of SAP Labs.
In our environment here, diversity is key. Making sure that we have an organization that is open to everyone and accessible to all is the way we're going to innovate. We really felt like this was the next step for us to have our physical space really reflect the accessibility we had in our mindset.
A 3D printer creates Braille signage. Interview, Laura Malley, Director, Property Management, TrioVest.
For a lot of us, we don't even know where to begin, but the Rick Hansen Foundation gives you your beginning. The process was quite easy. I think it's really opened the eyes of a lot of the property managers right across the country, with everybody jumping in and wanting to help and get certified themselves.
Marine Gateway, RHF Accessibility Certified Gold. Arnold enters the Marine Gateway building. He heads up a ramp, then takes in the view from a roof deck. Other features of the building include open concept workspaces, a large lunchroom, and natural light from windows and skylights. Brad.
For people signing, the level of light is really important in order to communicate. That's a remarkable example of how the built environment and features in that environment affect all people with disabilities.
Next, views of the North Surrey Sport and Ice Complex, RHF Accessibility Certified Gold. Marco enters the building through automatic sliding doors. He approaches the reception desk, then heads down a wide hallway. Interview, Karen Pasqua, Universal Design Specialist for the City of Surrey.
If accessibility is a barrier, you don't know that without the rating. People are coming to our programs because of the accessibility that we have here. And since being partnered with the Rick Hansen Foundation, we've had other cities from across Canada want to use our best practices.
Views of Toronto and Vancouver. Then, in his office, Stannis works on drawings and models. Interview, Stannis.
From a business perspective, you're able to draw upon a much larger pool of talent in terms of your employees, and you're also able to attract a much larger customer base. Our hope and our ambition is that RHFAC becomes the global standard for making buildings more accessible.
Marco works out in the North Surrey Sport Complex gym. Interview, Marco.
A space like this allows me to feel independent, a part of the community, and that I actually matter. And that's the one thing that RHF is really good at doing, is helping to remove those frustrations so that everybody can feel included all the time.
Aerial view of a city, Brad.
The RHFAC is rolling out right across the country right now, and the momentum is just fabulous.
A sledge hockey game, Karen.
There's benefits to our staff, there's benefits to our community, there's benefits to our partners, our builders. We need to be accessible, and having gold certifications and certified facilities, it just tells us that we're on the right track.
Hashtag everyone everywhere. Learn more and book your rating at rickhansen.com/RHFAC.